Okay. Alright, howdy y'all. This is Redwolf. I'm back for, I suppose, round 3 of our spear series. And right now I want to talk about thrusting spears. Now, thrusting spears are defined as spears that are in the hand and not cast in any manner when used. There's a huge variety of stuff and a lot of details we could easily get bogged down with that I'm going to try and skirt through and just try and keep everything moving forward apace. So, first thing on spears, thrusting spears, I guess we'll talk a little bit about technique. There's 2 ways to use these. The first one is overhand, which a lot of people, or underhand technically, this is overhand, this is overarm, and underhand is what we're going to call this. Underarm tends to feel a little bit more accurate, and particularly on game, you can ease it and walk it in a little bit better. Overarm comes up, and this is normally associated with throwing spears. There are debates on spear combat, which style you should use, but that's a video for another day. So anyway, for right now, we got the overarm. This tends to be more powerful. You can see I'm grabbing it roughly in the middle. It has a shorter reach. I can't reach out and hit stuff as far, and you see I kind of end up doing this little hand flick to keep it on an even plane and accurate. So this is power thrust. This is with it thrown out a little bit. So a little less accurate than this, than the underarm, but what you end up getting is, on game, you get an angle to come in. This will go through tree limbs a lot easier than this will a lot of times. And it tends to be a little bit more powerful. It comes down, it's a very good, the position is chambered really well, so it hits hard. I would say practice. There's times and places for all of them. This one is also better for pinning game, which is better with, in particular with small game. You get your big blow, you hit it into the ground, or you use the ground to kind of hold it in place while the spear transfers the force. Pretty good. You can see here, got some examples. I'm going to talk to you a little bit right fast about half diameter. And you can probably see how much bigger this one is. This is a boar hunting spear. You can see it's dirty. I've been out here doing a bunch of stuff with it. It has a bigger handle on it because the primary way this is used is you prop it in the ground and you let the critter run up on it. This is a self-defense spear. It's traditionally used with armor to keep the critter from hitting you. And the balance point on this is like right here. It's really, really far forward up here. I think I'm already have on camera that, you know, I can reach further with my buoy than I can with this, just distance. And because of that, these are traditionally used two-handed, and they're traditionally carried two-handed. And I'm saying all this because if all you're going up against is self-defense from large, dangerous game, you won't cross pieces. Whether I've seen like people tie, back in the day, tie antlers across here, lash them in good with rawhide. You tend to want a wide blade, or a wider blade, so you get more bleeding coming out of the wound. There's some technique to it. You don't necessarily run up there and jab it. And all that matters because you can literally, it takes more weight to snap this. And there's guys who go out there and throw these now, or I would say from what I've seen on YouTube, they just drop them out of deer stands because they're so heavy that you don't have to put any effort into throwing them. They also are a horrible utilitarian weapon because they'll only throw a few feet. You know, that's with a lot of effort I can make that throw versus getting a little ahead of ourselves with just a flick of the wrist with that throwing spear. I've thrown an extra 10 feet. This style, which is a little bit bigger than your thumb, usually between, usually around an inch, somewhere between like 2 centimeters and 3 diameter is a really good measure for a thrusting spear. And this is capable of both defending me from most game. I wouldn't go up against grizzly with this, just because this will snap at some point, or it's more likely to. But it'll slide in easier because it's got less metal up here. If I need to throw it, I need to maneuver it. I think I showed you, my other one I could grab about right here. And on this one, I also did like a Greek style. And I put the bigger end back here and left it heavy. And that lets me put more of the spear forward. It pulls the point of balance back, so I can have more of the spear forward before I start feeling the strain and have trouble with the tip wanting to dip when I'm trying to hold it out. You can see I'm having a little bit of trouble there. Right here I'm fine. I think that's probably about all the ramble I've got on these right now. I'm sure there's some good information in there. I just got to bear with me. I got a little bit more to talk about, and I'm going to do some testing. And I think the testing will make some of my opinions on the thrusting spears a little bit clearer than what I think I just did on YouTube. So y'all stick with me. I appreciate y'all. Until next time, this is Redwolf signing off. Y'all keep up the good fight.